Now let's take a look at what's grabbing headlines around the world. Florence Filomeno is back on set with us. Welcome back, Flo. All eyes are on the UK as voters are heading to the ballot box.
That's right. All eyes have been on the candidates for the past 38 days of campaigning. Well, today, all eyes are on the voters. Let's take a look at the front page of The Independent that says it very clearly. It's over to you. After 38 days of campaigning, 2 televised debates, countless opinion polls, blah, blah, blah. It's time for voters to hit the ballot box, and that's indeed what a lot of papers are saying. Go out and vote. And if you haven't made up your mind, The Independent actually has a quiz for voters. You can see it says that's here, useful. Who should I vote for in this election? Well, you can take this interactive quiz to find out which party is the right choice for you. So it has questions about all sorts of things, the environment, jobs, etc. And according to how you answer those questions, it'll tell you who to vote for.
I wonder if those parties okayed that quiz, if they're all on board with it. Now, pre-election polls predict that the election is going to be really tight, so tight that there might not even be a direct outcome.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the front page of The Guardian today. They say it could not be closer. Now, in their final poll, The Guardian put Labour and Tories neck and neck. Every vote is going to count. So once again, in its editorial, The Guardian also really encourages people to get out and vote. This may be the election of a lifetime. Now, according to The Guardian, voters might have found the campaign a little bit frustrating, but on polling day, they have the upper hand, and The Guardian says you really need to use this upper hand. The Daily Mail says this is probably the most unpredictable election in a generation. It's going to really go down to the wire, and you can see a visibly stressed out Daily Mail here saying, now the talking stops. And it points out that 1 in 4 voters still don't know who they're going to vote for, and actually say that they might change their mind right before going to the ballot box.
Yeah, that sounds quite uncertain. Now, papers in the UK, outside the UK, are also focusing on this election.
That's right. It's a big story we saw here in France, in the US as well. You can see the Washington Post also focusing on the uncertainty leading up to this election. Uncertainty is the only thing in this election that's too close to call. The only thing that voters know with near certainty is that nobody is going to win this election. Well, not in the way that parties have traditionally won elections. So with one party claiming a clear majority and a clear mandate to run the country. Excuse me. The Wall Street Journal on their front page as well is talking about how the election is unlikely to yield a clear winner. And because of this, lots of people are shifting to tactical voting. And the Wall Street Journal has a very interesting article on this. It's a very curious phenomenon. Basically, you support your preferred party by voting for somebody else.
How does that work?
And well, they quote a politics professor who explains this phenomenon. Basically, you really pump for another guy to make sure he's going to beat the guy you really, really don't like.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, I guess.
Exactly.
It's going to be a long, nail-biting day for a lot of voters out there. We're expecting to see who's going to win. And The Independent has a special guide.
That's right.
For those impatient people.
Very helpful, very funny guide, actually, to the election day. It answers some burning questions you might have. For instance, can you vote while you're drunk? Well, according to The Independent, you actually can. You might get kicked out of the polling station, though, if you're disruptive. Another key question a lot of people have been asking The Independent, apparently, is it illegal to take a selfie in the voting booth? Well, technically, there is no law banning selfies or photo taking inside the the polling booth, but you can breach the law if you reveal how, even accidentally, how someone voted. And you can face quite a hefty fine, even some time in jail. If you do decide to take a selfie in the voting booth, at least remember to vote. There's one cartoon I pulled out of the Telegraph where you can see this guy, he just got out of the polling station. He said, I didn't vote, I just took a selfie.
Oh, that would be unfortunate. Now, you pulled out an article in the Daily Beast that focuses on how the British media has reported the campaign.
That's right. This is the Daily Beast, so American publication online, taking a little time to bash the British media, it must be said, in this article. You can see it says how the British press lost its mind over the general election. It's particularly critical of the right-wing press. You just have to look at yesterday's front pages to see how abusive the right-wing press has been. So you can read this article in the Daily Beast. Must be said, they're talking about tabloids, and to be fair, all tabloids tend to bash people before elections.
All right, thanks so much, Florence Filomeno, with that international press review.